Silence and strategy. Ava sat in her small apartment. The silence around her thick and heavy. The wedding dress hung untouched in the closet, a painful reminder of the day that was supposed to be the happiest of her life. The betrayal burned in her chest, but she refused to let it consume her. Instead of breaking down, Ava channeled her pain into focus. She knew she couldn't face Ethan or his family yet, but she didn't want to disappear completely. She needed a plan, one that would shift the power back into her hands. Over the next few weeks, Ava reconnected with old friends she had lost touch with during her whirlwind romance with Ethan. One of them, Marcus, a supportive and grounded entrepreneur, reminded her of her own strength. He encouraged her to pursue her dream of opening an art gallery, something she had always talked about but never dared to start. Ava threw herself into her passion. Days turned into nights, filled with sketching, designing, and researching. The pain of betrayal faded, replaced by a growing fire to build something new, something that belonged solely to her. Meanwhile, Ethan's calls and messages went unanswered. He was desperate to explain himself, but Ava knew words alone wouldn't heal what had been broken. She watched from a distance as his family whispered and wondered why she had vanished. The shock wasn't just hers anymore. It was everyone's. But Ava remained silent, waiting for the right moment to reveal her true strength. Rising from the ashes, months passed, and Ava's art gallery, The Sanctuary, opened its doors. Nestled in a cozy part of town, it quickly became a place where local artists showcased their work and visitors found inspiration. Ava's eye for beauty and her warm presence made the gallery a success. Through her work, Ava rediscovered herself. Each brushstroke and sculpture was a piece of her healing. She wasn't just a betrayed fiancé anymore. She was an artist, a businesswoman, and most importantly, a woman who owned her story. News of her success quietly made its way back to Ethan. He watched, stunned as the woman he thought he had lost flourished without him. His regret grew, but it was mingled with confusion and pain. He tried reaching out once more, but Ava's heart had learned to protect itself. Ava's circle grew stronger, too. Marcus became more than just a friend, a steady presence in her life. He admired her resilience and encouraged her to keep moving forward, not looking back. Through every gallery opening and art show, Ava's confidence blossomed. She realized that the best revenge wasn't public humiliation or drama. It was thriving, living fully, and letting her success speak for itself. An expected reunion was at a family gathering. Celebration of Ethan's mother's birthday. That fate brought Ava and Ethan face to face again. Ava wasn't the same woman who had walked out of the chapel that day. She arrived confidently, dressed elegantly, radiating a calm strength that caught everyone off guard. Whispers floated through the room as Ethan's family stared, unsure of what to expect. Ethan's eyes widened when he saw her. The guilt, regret, and longing were all there. But Ava didn't waver. She greeted his family warmly, her poise leaving no room for pity or awkwardness. The night was filled with mixed emotions, but Ava stayed true to herself. She didn't seek confrontation, only peace. The reunion showed Ethan's family and friends that Ava had reclaimed her narrative. She was no longer a victim of betrayal. She was a woman reborn, unapologetically strong. Closure and new beginnings. A few days after the gathering, Ethan reached out one last time. He wanted closure, answers, maybe even forgiveness. Ava agreed to meet him at a quiet cafe, a place untouched by the chaos of their past. As they talked, Ava remained calm. She listened as Ethan expressed his remorse and explained the confusion and mistakes that led to his betrayal. But she didn't dwell on the pain. Instead, Ava spoke of growth, self-love, and the power of moving on. She told Ethan she wished him well, but that her future was no longer tied to him. When they parted, Ava felt a deep sense of freedom. She wasn't defined by the heartbreak anymore. She was defined by her courage to rise above it. With her art, her friends, and a heart open to new possibilities, Ava stepped into a new chapter. Her story became one not just of betrayal, but of strength, hope, and the beautiful power of new beginnings. The perfect day shattered, Ava stood by the large stained-glass window of the chapel, her heart fluttering with excitement and nerves. Years of dreams, late-night talks, and shared secrets had led to this moment, the day she would marry Ethan, the love of her life. Their story was one that friends and family often spoke of fondly. From their college days to their shared apartment filled with laughter, Ava and Ethan seemed destined for forever. The morning sun poured through the chapel windows, casting colorful patterns on the polished floor. The air was thick with anticipation. Bridesmaids adjusted their dresses while the guests settled into their seats. Ava's mother squeezed her hand gently, offering a reassuring smile. Everything felt perfect, but fate had other plans. As the final preparations were underway, Ava excused herself to step outside for a breath of fresh air. As she passed the church's back hall, she overheard voices that stopped her cold. Ethan's voice was unmistakable, low and urgent. She crept closer, her heart pounding. "I can't keep doing this," Ethan was saying. "She means everything to me, but it's complicated. I don't want to lose you either." The other voice, softer and pleading, responded, "You have to choose, Ethan. She's about to marry you in minutes." Ava's world crumbled. The other voice belonged to someone she didn't know, someone who wasn't her. She stepped back, tears blurring her vision. How could he betray her this way moments before their wedding? Shock and pain mingled inside her, but so did a fierce resolve. She wiped her tears and made her way back inside, her steps steady despite the storm raging within. Instead of confronting Ethan immediately, Ava chose silence. She returned to the chapel, smiled through the ceremony, and quietly slipped away once it was over. The room buzzed with confusion and whispers. Ethan's family looked stunned, unable to understand why Ava had disappeared without a word. But Ava wasn't broken. She was just beginning. As the chapel doors closed behind her, Ava vowed to reclaim her story on her own terms.